Why? Hello, everybody. It's post report time. Uh, my buddy brought Slaanesh Marines and Slaanesh Demons. I'm really tired. I've been up since 3 in the morning. My time. No, 2:30 in the morning. My time. It is now 6:58 p.m. my time. It's been a long day. So we played some 40k. I brought my Death Guard. He brought squads of demonettes, some people in chariots, some seekers, some casters on seekers, and I forget what else he brought. A demon prince and mutilators. I'm just trying to decide what I'm gonna paint with right now. I'm gonna paint my orcs. You know what? We'll do. We'll go leathers still. Different leathers though. So I brought my maniple. Oh, that is ripped. That is a rip. So I brought like I said, my maniple, which is a Mytholic Blight Hauler, 4 squads of Plague Marines. I got the guy that stops charges, and also I got the guy that uh advanced charges. I got what's his name? The Noxious Blightbringer. I don't remember the guy that stops charges. I think it's the Foul Blight Spawn. I think that's it. I got the Foul Blight Spawn. And I got the Biologist Putrefier. Not the Biologist Putrefier. I want the Biologist Putrefier. I brought the Noxious Blightbringer. I brought my Plague Surgeon. That's right. Played them in sort of a defensive fashion. The Blight Hauler didn't play too much into the game, and I didn't think it would. Plague Marines did really well considering I still don't know what my buddy's Slaanesh Marines do too well. But that's just because he's like experimenting with his list and they're all like different all the time. But I kind of actually really I've started to understand it a lot more than any like and this game was really a turning point, honestly. Like I understand not like his whole list and its finer points, but I have grasped some of the major themes that he utilizes in his list and his the way he strategizes a little bit, like the way he that is too much. The way he prioritizes certain things, that's very important for me. And you know, it's pretty it's a pretty hardcore list to fight. And my buddy acknowledges it. Man, that was fuck that shit up. Anyways, we'll fix it. He he was like, yeah, this list pretty. It's like pretty nasty. It's not like it gets nastier, but like if I feel like I also figured out key ways to counter his list versus before, which was I was like, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know, man. What he could have just told me like, look, man, this is Elvis. This unit's called Elvis Presley, and he summons 5d6 groupies every turn that explode and deal your units mortal wounds. And I'm like, sounds like what it sounds reasonable to me, man. Just mixing paints for 5 minutes. You mixing paints for 5 minutes? Ah, man, I didn't get the color I liked at all. See, look at that color. It, I'm gonna have to do it up with a really crazy. That's okay. I'm not actually about this color at all. Fuck this color. Fuck this shit, man. Fuck this, man. Ain't painting with this shit. Ain't painting with this, man. We got the quarter edges deployment. And I got the 4 quarter edges and the circle in the middle. Here, I'll do a quick little. This will be good for drawing tactical shit. It was this one, guys. And I was down here. This was the Death Guard. And up here was my buddy. And I did do spacing pretty decently. I offered him a challenge. And he definitely had a hard time dealing with my spacing, but also he beat the shit out of me at the end. But that's just because like one of my important shooting phases, it wasn't that I couldn't fight back, it was that like in the important, like I could have done a lot more had my rolls been better, and I'm not one commonly to blame it on rolls, but even my friend was like, that one shooting phase where you rolled nothing but 2s and then fucked yourself. I was like, yeah, it sucked. What I'm gonna say, it wasn't that good, but that's why I play dice games, And then I did pass him a save, he's like, he usually complains about me making saves, and then he was, I made a few decent saves, but he was bossing it pretty good on a lot of his saves. But I'm not mad about that. Again, that's why I play a dice game. But that's part of it. That's not like all the reason I lost. Part of the reason I lost is because I didn't do things right. I didn't make my list properly. I didn't prioritize targets. Like, my buddy fully acknowledges that even with like semi-poor rolling, I should have like at least killed another unit and shot out something. But again, that's why, like, that's what we're saying is like, but that's why we play dice games, because you roll the dice, and sometimes you do what should happen, and then sometimes you don't, and that's fine. I don't know if that indicates much of anything, but I could have mitigated. See, the whole point is I could have mitigated this by playing differently. I could have never ended up in a position where it came down to dice rolls like that if I had made my list different. Like, say, because he's really good at fighting death balls. And, like, I don't know, I got a pretty good... Maybe if I would have prioritized certain things differently, I could have done more damage, and maybe if I would have moved certain things differently, I could have done more damage, but, like, moving my, like, Death Guard more aggressively, like, because my movement was still pretty effective in screwing up his plan, so it's not like that was a failure. But my list wasn't a good list to fight his list, and even though that still could be compensated with, I would need to move better than I did. But, like I said, this allowed me to figure out his charges. So it's a very important battle, actually. Things I could learn from it, which are, I definitely blobbing up in a mana pool is not what I want to do with this army versus his army, unless I do it in a very certain manner. But what I do want to do is make a grenade list. A black grenade list. But you know, there's more to learn here. There's more things to unpack. I could have, you know, put my Demon Prince in and disturbed his movements, but I kind of boxed him out. And my friend did help me with movement at a certain point, but that was after I'd already disrupted his plans. He sort of just, like, I was trying to, like, figure out a methodology to proceed with the pick. He just helped me angle a picket, really. And that was dope of him, but he saw what I was doing. He already knew what the fuck I was doing because I'd already started it by making, like, I used my rhino. I had brought 2 rhinos too, and I used one of my rhinos because I moved the other. One thing, I could have saved my rhino and used 2 rhinos as a bulwark because I used one of my rhinos as like an impingement to like as like a force break. I just moved it up and like turned it sideways. I was like, blow it up, run through it, don't give a fuck. Could have saved the other rhino and moved that up too, and just made him fight through them, and then shot him the whole time, using his speed bumps. And this is what I would do, actually. His threat range at max with certain units is 24 inches, so I could possibly be engaged by seeding 24 inches with my blight launchers. But what I can do is try, you know, I can bring my rhinos up, shoot them with my blight launchers that turn, and whatever shots anything else can make, and have like a fast hit squad that goes in with rhinos, but like the rhinos are there to drop my guys off and then stop them from moving forward while my hit squad comes in and just jacks on them, and the rhinos will just rapid fire. Like, they actually served a purpose, like rapid firing daemonettes, and you know, I could just have them rapid fire daemonettes until they get booshed. You might say, why not try to keep them? Because in my list, they're a little, you know, I could use them to escape, but you know, in this situation, excuse me, I think it was better that I used them to create a defensive barrier, and if I would have had 2 of them, the defensive barrier would have been much stronger, and maybe I could have fought back. And that's the whole point, is there's maybe a few minor differences in, like, shooting this thing over that thing. Like, even with my terrible rolls, you know, maybe isolating targets better. And picking my attack... Oh, something I could have done. Picking my attack fit... Like, who attacks when better. What? Placing my elites could have been better. Like, some of my... Like, and this isn't even, like... My elites weren't even, like, that poorly placed. They were just, like... They were, like, just a few inches out of optimal position for all of them. So, you know, I could place them a little bit... Like, place all my elites a little bit better. My Demon Prince was completely zoned out of combat until it could only attack one thing, and then it got slapped up. And that was something that happened. My Demon Prince made one save out of 10. You know, that's fine. Again, that's why I play dice games. Sometimes you literally make one of your 5-up 5-ups. That's fine. That's dice games. That's why you play them. If you're gonna get mad about that, why the hell are you playing a dice game? It's, you know, it sucks. But such is the fickle nature of dice, my friend. And so, the ways to reduce it, for me, would be getting the grenade guy and running a large squad of grenade dudes. If I'm gonna run a mana pool, I'll run a large squad of grenaders behind some skirmish squads. And it's yeah, they would have like I said, skirmishing units that would pin or screen dedicated. And, you know, it's dedicated might sound like I don't put blight launchers in there, but my friend, you don't know how good blight launchers are in Overwatch. You have no idea how much damage I do in Overwatch with blight launchers. Because if one blight launcher hits, it's gonna wound, and then I do D3 damage. And I could splat, like, I splatted a Mutilator in Overwatch. He charged the squad. I got 1-6 out of the 4 shots. And he died. He went, bleh! So, skirmish squads would probably have blight launchers. And melee weapons. And then I'm going to have range squads with the bolters that advance around the field and spray up his toughness 3 Daemonettes, and then I blight launcher his heavier stuff. Because he's got a bunch of toughness 3. For some reason, I kept on thinking his infantry was toughness 4, but most of it's toughness 3. So I could just get a bunch of bolters to fight him, and then walk around, advance around on him, and just shoot his face off with bolters and blight launchers. You might say blight launchers aren't the best. I need flamers, but I don't want to get in melee combat rage, even if I'm doing a flamer wall. Because he'll stack up units on one side and then just charge. He's very methodical. He's a very methodical opponent. He did a fantastic job on engaging some of my HQs in combat with his characters. He did a really crack up job of that. Taking advantage of the models that I had pulled to in earlier phases of combat and shooting and so forth to advantage himself. He did a good job at that. I could have definitely positioned my bloat drone better again. I mean, my bloat drone wasn't useless, but I should have maybe used it as a harassing unit more than like another defensive unit. But yeah. It's pretty brutal, but it's fine. You know, I could have done better, coach. I could have done better, coach. I could have. But it's also at the same time, for what I had, I didn't do poorly. I did pretty okay. I did decent overall, actually. It's just, like, the list I had was not the list I needed, and the list he had was definitely the way he. Yeah, I have a command. I have a death ball that walks around in, like I said, in maniple formations, and he's really good at blowing that kind of shit up. So it's like me fighting something that's really good at what it's fighting. So it's, it was tough, but hey, that's why that's why I roll dice and shit. Is because sometimes I fight games where my opponent has a list that is really good at fucking my list. Like, it's not even like my list is the best list for his to fight. Out of the list that his list is really good to fight, my list is the worst for him to fight because it's so resilient. Because it's disgustingly resilient. And, yeah. I could do some weird shit maybe to bring him down to, to put it this way. Engineer my list better in the first step. Excuse me. Change my tactics with harassing, screening, or further optimize, as well as change screening, harassing, and long range units, and all just basically running my list mo better, son. Mo better. Getting mo better. And, yeah. Victory for Slaanesh. It's fine. Because my friend, like, usually, like, when I'm playing with him like this, I'm literally helping him test really crazy, fucked up lists that he makes up. He's like, I'm making lists. He's like, you want to help me test it? And I'm like, sure, dude. He's like, you want to fight my 1,500, my 1,000, or my 500? I'm like, do whatever you want. He's like, my 1,500 is my worst, so I want to use that. I'm like, do it. He's like, But I've seen close to. Excuse me. I've seen close to the worst he can throw at me, and I did okay with it with a list that it was kind of built to fight. So I will learn from this, and I have already learned from these things more than just, like, maybe I move my blow drone over here so he gets more effective flamer shots in the face. What I coulda, shoulda, woulda, done was, really, I deep struck my Blight Lord really inefficiently. What I coulda, shoulda, woulda done is on the second turn, move my fast units and deep struck my Blight Lord, kept him for turn 2 instead of dropping him on turn 1. I don't know why I did. It's because I just forgot to deploy him. I was gonna deploy him, but I'm gonna just put him in the teleport. He was in the teleportarium, but I was gonna just drop him down for no reason at the edge of the board, so as the rest of my army was there. And yeah, it sucks, but hey, I'll learn from it. I'll deploy him in the thing he was meant to. He was kind of meant to be a harassing unit. And then, excuse me, yeah. He could have been way better at stopping my homeboy from advancing, especially if I throw him a Blowtron and my Demon Prince and the 2 Rhinos at him. It's not like it would have stopped him, but it would have hitched his charge a little bit, and that maybe would have given me a little bit more momentum. But like I said, this is all a learning process, my friends. I don't even know if that would work, but hey, I hope you guys. I should have thrown I wouldn't. Oh, excuse me, I wouldn't want to throw my Demon Prince in there unless I get another one. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this post report. Slaanesh victory. The only thing I blew up was a tank. But that's not the like. He was like. I made him roll like a bunch of rolls. He's like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna live. And like, I've been there a bunch, and he just made all of them. And it's, you know. Dice games. I made him roll like. He's like. 2 wounds, and I shot him with like a bunch of. Blight launches on this one guy. And it's like a 4 up or some shit, 5 up, and I forget. It's 3 dice, 4 up, and then another 2 dice with a 4 up. And he bossed all of them, and that's the way. That's the way it goes. But I'm not like trying to be like, oh, it sucks. But no, that's why I play games. He bossed a bunch of really critical saves, and that paid off for him. And then he fucked on my face. And if I wanted to, excuse me, win, I should have either played what drastically differently in certain aspects, or just brought a different list. That's totally available to me. Have a nice day.